Hi everyone, it's Anne here from Positively Papercraft. Now today I am back with some ways you can use a household item that I would say probably 99% of people have it in their home, and I don't know if it's been done before. It's new to me, but it's absolutely amazing. So if you stick around, I am going to show you what it is. Okay, so it is kitchen foil. Now in the UK, I think we either call it kitchen foil or aluminium foil. I know in the USA they call it aluminum foil, I believe. But basically, I'll just call it kitchen foil. Now, I'm using a couple of types. This is the Baco foil, and I'm going to get into why in a minute. And this other one I have is basically just a cheap kind of, honestly it was something like 40-50 pence for a roll. This was a couple of pounds. A little bit of difference in them, but I think for some of them it doesn't really matter if I'm perfectly honest. Obviously the Baco foil one is a bit thicker. Now I quickly want to tell you something, because a lovely lady from, I believe it is, oh damn, I forgot where it is. I know it's in the USA and I can't remember now, but anyway, the lady's called Janet, and she sent me quite a few emails explaining about this tape that she had got and was doing amazing things with it. It's basically just this kind of aluminium foil on a sticky back. It comes in like the homewares department, so you could use it around the house. Brilliant, so you can use this, but the only problem is it's only 2 inches wide. That's when it got me thinking, I'm going to start having a go with the foil, and that's what I did, and I've come up with some fantastic things. So I'm going to show you this first thing. Now I think this is beautiful. So I'm going to show you this that I made. Now how gorgeous is that? And honestly, it's just made with kitchen foil and alcohol pens. That's it. And it's really so easy to make and quite addictive. So I'm going to show you the first technique is this. So I've got a card base here. It can be any size you want it to be. I'm going to work on just this square here. Cut a piece of the foil, and just remember it will shrink a little bit when we're scrunching it, so make it a bit bigger than the card that you're going to have it on. Start to scrunch it. Don't roll it up in a ball, because it can be really hard to get out and then you end up tearing it. So just scrunch it. Okay, open it out carefully. And if you're happy with that, you can leave it at that, or you could do another one. And unravel it again. Now, once I have opened it back out, what I'm going to do is take a brayer. Now it can be anything just to flatten this out, and then just start rolling it. Okay, just like that. Now take any kind of alcohol markers. I tell you what even work, Sharpies even work, or permanent markers. I got some really nice results from Sharpies. Now, of course, you could just literally have this on your card background. You don't have to add any colour. And I'm going to trim it down a little bit, just so I'm not colouring bits that I'm not going to need. So, just rough for now. I'm just going to pop it there so I know I'm going to have enough. And I'm just going to trim some away. So, what I'm going to do is literally just get my pens and start colouring in. I've got a glass mat if it does go through, alcohol takes it away, or hand gel, and just pick your colours. Now you don't have to colour every single one, obviously it would take you forever, but I just coloured random bits, and you don't have to press on hard, just really lightly, and just follow the little kind of sort of crevices that scrunching it up's created, which it sort of looks like a kind of, I don't know, like an enamel, like a silver enamel or something, like jewellery pieces that have all the lovely colours in them, or stained glass or something. It just reminds me of something like that. Now vibrant colours look really nice on this. You see there, this beautiful purple, it just looks so pretty. But as I said, just use what you've got. As long as it's alcohol markers or permanent markers, you will get the same effect. And I'm just going to show you, can you see that there? The beautiful colours. So I'm going to get on and, you know, just basically add as much of this as I want to, and then I'll be back when okay, so I think I'm going to leave it at that for now. So what I'm going to do is cut it so that it fits my card. I'll cut it down and I'll come straight back. Right, I've cut it down, and basically you can just glue it on the back. So just normal glue, spread it all around. Then I'm going to glue it on to my card. Just pat it down. And in fact, you could get your brayer. Just make sure your ink's dry. Now, if you feel like you want to get some more colours on there, you know, just go ahead, add your colours or whatever you want to do. You can leave it as is, or you can just play around and keep adding more. And all you're doing is just pressing the pen into all those little bits that the foil has left when we've you know, wrinkled it up. So I might add just a couple more, just wherever you want, and it really does look like some kind of, I don't know, like a metal, but with, you know, beautiful colours in it. So I'm going to go for that. Then I am going to take the black piece of card, and I'm just going to have this as a little mat just to give it a nice little border. Again, I'll just glue this on. So that's that. Then I'm going to pop it up on some. There we go. And then I've cut Dream Big, which is the same set. This is what was from Believe in Yourself. It's actually a tonic set that I got from one of Tonic's craft kits. Oh goodness me, it must have been well over a year ago, so I have no idea if it's still available. And then I've just put some pads on the back, So I'm going to have Dream, just checking I'm not getting this upside down, Dream, Big. And I definitely think you've got to try this because it is just so cool. So there we go, there's the first one. Kitchen foil and alcohol or permanent markers, and that looks pretty amazing, so eye-catching. So let's move on to the next one. Alright, the next one, dead quick and easy. You probably know about this one. This is the same foil which I have used a 3D embossing folder on it. Now isn't that just absolutely beautiful? Look at all the detail in that. I just added a little sentiment which I popped glossy accents over the top, but wow, that is absolutely stunning. Dead simple. I'm going to show you how to do it. So again, I've got some foil. I've took a card base here and I've just covered one side of it with double-sided adhesive, okay? Any kind you've got really. We are going to peel the backing off it. Take the foil. Now don't forget, you could use either side really. You could use the shinier side or you could use the dull side. Let's try the dull side and see what that turns out like. Let's just pop it down, and then I'll just use a little bone folder and gently just smooth it on. So this is going to look more like a kind of brushed steel, I would say. And then I'm just going to snip off the excess foil. Now I'm going to use a 3D folder by Sizzix. This is called Organic Petals, and I am going to spray the back of this card with water. Now again, I keep getting asked, why am I using the water? I'm using the water because this is a 3D embossing folder. I want to ensure that this card is damp so that all of the really deep embossing gets right into the card. That's only why I spray them. You don't need to spray them with regular folders, just 3D ones. So just spritz the back. Just once will do. Pop it in the folder. Now I've cut the card a bit too wide, but it's okay. I just really want to show you how it works. Grab the BIGSHOT and then base cutting pad, embossing folder and a pad, and we'll see what this turns out. Isn't that just so pretty? And that is foil, but it's used on the reverse of the foil. And as I said before, where's my little sample gone? There's another one, and that's using the more shinier side. So try that, it looks absolutely awesome. Okay, the next one is the similar kind of thing we've just done in the last technique, which was embossing. So here I have embossed the foil on, the same as before, a piece of card, double-sided adhesive, ran it through a folder. Now what I wanted to show you was this one I've done here as well. But what I've done is I've took again an alcohol marker and I've just coloured little bits of it in. And I think that looks really pretty. So I've just got a selection of pens. Of course you can use whatever colours you like. We could try maybe a couple of shades of purple here. I've got This is a HOLTZ and this is a Sizzix. What, you know, just whatever alcohol pens you've got. Again, you can use Sharpies and stuff. And here what you could just do is pick up bits of the folder that you want to add colour to, and you know, just take your time, just go over it. And I just think it's such an interesting way to add that extra to your embossing folders, and it just gives it so much more interest, and it just looks so much more kind of, I don't know what the word is, just sparkly, and you know, just really, I mean, you could just, you know, take your marker pens, colour that in, and you're going to have a beautiful different look to your cards or whatever you're going to make. So definitely try this one out. Now quickly while I'm here, here's a couple of little samples I did here. Again, just embossing folders, but what I did this time was I took some StazOn ink and I just swiped the pads down over the embossing. Now obviously, just like with the pens, you will have to let it dry for a little bit, but it does dry and it doesn't come off, so just be a little bit patient with it. But they look really nice with using StazOn pads as well. So try that one because I think that's so pretty. Okay, this next one, this was frustrating me to no end. Now I wanted to stamp and heat emboss onto the foil. So what I was doing was double-sided adhesive onto some card, putting the foil on the top, heat embossing. The problem was when I was drying it with the heat tool, it kept bubbling up, which obviously was the adhesive, and I was about to give up, and that's why I went and bought a thicker foil, thinking, oh, that might work. It did a little bit, but not a lot. Then I thought, why not just heat emboss onto the foil and then attach it to the card later, and it's worked brilliant. So you can actually heat emboss on it as well. So all you need is just the foil, okay? And this one, what I did was I heat embossed it, and then I took the pens again and I coloured it in. So it just creates this sort of, I don't know, like a beautiful metal effect background. I mean, you don't have to colour them in, but I thought, that would look pretty. This stamp set that I've used, I'm going to use today. Now, I do get asked a lot about this set. I do actually sell them on another website I have, so I'll put the link in under the video and you can pop over and check them out. I've got loads of stuff on there. I mean, I'm still working on it, but there'll be stuff getting added all the time. So I've got the stamp, one of the stamps from the set, and then just treat it as if you would with regular card. So you're going to need an anti-static bag of some sort. If you don't have one of these, I think you can put cornstarch or corn flour like in a little pair of tights or something, and you can make your own. But they are only a couple of pound, and they are, if you are planning on heat embossing, this is a must. So put plenty on, okay? Now we've done that, so I've got the stamp, I've got some Versamark, just use whatever embossing ink you have, and then we're going to ink up the stamp. Now if you want to use a stamping platform, by all means use it. I think I'll be okay. She says. Right, plenty ink on, and I'm going to show you, this is actually pretty awesome, I think. So take the foil, and now pop it on and let it find its place. Then you can press from the top. don't move it around, because you know you'll end up looking like you've got double vision. Now I'm hoping you can pick this up actually, because it does stamp really, really well. Can you probably, oh there, you can see it there. So this time, this one I used silver embossing powder. This time I'm going to try gold. Let's see what it looks like with gold. Knock off any bits that shouldn't be there. Can you see that is just awesome? It's picked up all of them details in that stamp. Now tidy this away, and it's just a case of heat embossing. Now it does heat emboss really quick. I mean really quick. Why that is I don't know, but it just does. I put it on the lowest speed setting. Just use whatever setting you have on your heat tool. Okay, so I'm going to quickly heat emboss this because my gun is on the other side, and I will be straight back. Okay, it's done, and it literally took seconds, and I know it's hard because of the foil, but you can see that is just perfectly heat embossed. And then what I would do is let it like settle and cool down for a little bit, because even with projects like scoring them and scoring over heat embossing, if it's not totally cool, it will just drag it off. Same applies for this. Let it, you know, cool down, and then what you can do is get a little brayer again and just roll it out, and it'll, you know, flatten any creases. Now to adhere this on your card, I just glued mine and it worked really well. Again, you could use double-sided adhesive, or you could just coat it all in glue and just pop it on, but then again be careful because the glue will probably show through. So maybe if you've got double-sided adhesive, it might be best. Now then what you can do, you can leave it as it is, or you could come along with again your marker pens, and you could start and colour in the little leaves. And obviously with it being heat embossed, it sort of resists because you've got that beautiful embossing. I just think this is so pretty. And again, don't just think cards, you could put this in a beautiful picture frame for somebody. You could make home, like, you know, home decor pieces. Now look at that, isn't that just absolutely stunning? It looks like, seriously looks like some kind of like metal art, like, you know, when they kind of hammer the sort of designs in, and they add all the beautiful enamels and stuff. I mean, as I said, probably someone has already, well, probably quite a few people have already thought of it, but you know, I wasn't aware, and this is just something with the pens I came up with myself, but I'm absolutely loving this. I just think it is amazing, particularly if you go for really vibrant colours, like this purple I'm using here. I just think it looks absolutely beautiful, and you don't really have to be careful because you've got that embossing. As long as you keep it inside of the embossed lines, you'll be fine, but you don't even have to worry really too much. Now, brilliant if you're not a very experienced colourer, or you're nervous of colouring with alcohol pens. This is perfect. Now I may, if I get a chance, I will finish this off and post it on my blog with the rest of them, but that is seriously beautiful. Isn't that just absolutely stunning? And then you could use your silver powder, clear, white, any colours that you have, you could create with these. So try this because it is beautiful. Alright, this one here I think is my absolute favourite. I love this. Now, I came up with this by just adding a few of the techniques together. So, what I think works best is a die that is what you call like I call an inlay die, so it has no cutting edge on the outside. It basically cuts the design into the card. So that's what I've decided to go for, and the one I'm using is this Tim Holtz Alterations, and it's called Mixed Media Christmas. But obviously you read your stash and see what you've got, because what you could also use is, say if you have some little flower dies or something like that, you could literally take your card, just place them on, cut them out, and then do it that way. So it doesn't have to be like an inlay die, for example, but I've gone with this anyway. Now, what you need to do is you need a piece of foil. Now, ignore this bit here, this was just a scrap, but this is going to be my card front, okay? Now, I need two pieces cut really virtually the same, okay? This is going to be the card front, this is the bit we're going to work on, okay? Now honestly, this is amazing, I think. So take your foil, and what we did in an earlier technique, we're just going to scrunch it up, okay? So take again something to just roll it out flat. Now all you need to be sure of is that when you place this on the top, it's definitely going to cover you know, your design, okay? So I'm just going to pop it on here, for example, and I'm going to work on this bit here. Now I've got some low tack tape just to keep everything in place. You could use washi tape or whatever you have, really, it doesn't matter. Okay, so a little bit there as well. So I have that all down and ready. Now what I'm going to do is take again my alcohol pens. Now this is a kind of poinsettia design, so I'm going to go for green and red. So I've got green and red. Now I am basically going to colour in all of these. Now I'm going to show you why we need to cut two pieces. So let's go for this little poinsettia in the corner here. So just get your pen and just start colouring inside these little cut pieces of the die. Just press on lightly because we don't want to flatten them too much. We want them to have that sort of, you know, scrumpled effect. Now I don't want to move it, but can you see if we were keeping this as our card front, it now has all the red ink on the card front. We don't want that. We want a nice fresh piece. So I think you can see where I'm going. When I take this off, this will go back over and there'll be no ink on the paper. So that's what I'm doing. And basically you just want to colour away. You can give it 2 coats if you want to, but keep it in, so you're using it as a stencil really. That's what you're using it as. And then just keep going until it's all done. And honestly, wait till you see it when it's finished. It looks absolutely beautiful. So I'll probably speed this up while I colour all this in. dry, but I'm going to show you a close-up of how beautiful this really is. Isn't that just absolutely stunning? Oh my god, that just looks like, I don't know, enamel, a metal, like a forged metal of some sort. Seriously, you've got to do this. This is just absolutely stunning. Look at that. Wow. So I'm going to turn this into a card, probably something really simple, obviously a Christmas card, and I will be back as soon as it's done. Alright, I've finished this one, and all I did was I just stamped a sentiment, took a black pen and did some faux stitching, and then what I did, I'm not sure if I like it though, was the little berry holes in there, I put some 3D pearl effects in red and just made them appear more 3D. But if you look at this, isn't that just absolutely beautiful? So pretty. So you've got to try this, because I think this is my favourite one. I mean, just think if you had a die that covered the whole of a card with, like, say big flowers or something, that would just look beautiful. And of course you could then, you know, do them all different colours. Just this, you can have so much fun with this. Absolutely love it, and it really does look like some kind of forged metal and enamel, I think. So give that a try. Let's move on to the last one. Okay, so I am back with the last one. Now this is beautiful, and this one, I saw this on a lady's blog, I think it's Mel's Stamps, but I'll put the link. And this one is kind of like a tile, it resembles like a tile, and I'm going to show you what I've done with this one. Isn't that just absolutely beautiful? So can you see the score lines? Well, I've hid the middle one actually, maybe it's not do that, but yeah, it resembles a tile, but that is just, again, alcohol markers. But I'm going to show you what it's like without it, because you don't have to add the alcohol pens. So again, a piece of card, double-sided adhesive, I've then put the tin foil on the top, and then I've run it through an embossing folder. So what I'm going to do now is you can use gesso, acrylic paint, any type of thing like that. I'm just going to get a little bit of acrylic paint, just a little bit is all you need. Well, actually, I'm telling a lie. What we need to do first is give it a score. So I've got my scoreboard here, and I know that this is 5 inches, so I'm gonna, sorry, I know it's a bit off center, I'm gonna score 2.5 just a couple of times, turn it round, 2.5 again. So that would be the center of my card. Okay, you see that there? I've just scored it in the center. Now I'm going to take a brayer into the white acrylic, and I'm basically just going to roll it over the top. Okay, now basically it kind of looks more like an etched glass kind of effect. I mean, isn't that just absolutely beautiful? Wow. Or then what you can do is, like I did with this one, once the acrylic was dry, I got my alcohol markers and I basically just coloured all of the little flowers in. But that is stunning. You could have so much fun with all of your different embossing folders. Maybe even try coloured acrylics if you want, or colour your white one with some inks and make them a different colour. But yeah, that is beautiful. So before I clean this away, we'll have a little relook of what we've done. I think that is one of my favourites, this one and the tile. I'm gonna do something with this one and put it on my blog. That is beautiful as well, and I love this one. That was what we did with the embossing folders, colouring them, heat embossing them, and again this one here. So I hope you've enjoyed it. You know, a great way to use your stash and use kitchen foil. So I will be back again on Sunday with another video. Don't forget, you can still vote for me in the Crafts Beautiful Awards. As always, I'll put the link under the video. So take care and bye for now.